Right, I think we're live. Wonderful. Hi, everyone. My name is Chris Thorin. I'm the Marketing Community Relations Manager here at Treehouse Humane Society. Today, we are so excited to have with us award-winning author Lori Orlinksy, who's written a book called Balloons for Tiger. Today is Pet Remembrance Day, where we reflect on the pets that we have loved, the pets that we have lost, and how to talk about it with our family. So Lori's joined us, and she's going to give us a reading of her book. And we're going to chat just a little bit about all of the ways that her book can help you talk about grief with your family and make a plan for your pet's end-of-life care on this Pet Remembrance Day. So without further ado, I present Lori Orlinksy reading Balloons for Tiger.
Hi, Chris. Thank you so much for the wonderful introduction, and thank you to the Treehouse Humane Society for having me. And I am so lucky because I have a wonderful assistant back here. Her name is Mims, and she's actually available for adoption at the Treehouse Humane Society. So she's so sweet. So without further ado, as Chris mentioned, I'm going to read Balloons for Tiger, and I will hold up the pictures when I'm done reading. So this is Balloons for Tiger, written by me, Lori Orlinksy. I am from Chicago, and I am the author. And the illustrator's name is Vanessa Alexandre, and she is from Brazil. Balloons for Tiger. It was a cold winter day when the balloons for Tiger floated away. They sailed off to heaven, tied to a string. Their parents hoped it was warmth and comfort they would bring. "Where do the balloons go when they're up in the air?" the little one asked with a puzzled stare. Mom said they go on exciting vacation until they reach their final destination. A gust of wind pulls them over our home. In a few days, they may even make it to Rome. They'll dance with falling leaves from a tree, fly over meadows, lakes, and even the sea. What do you think, Mims? I think Mims likes it. They may tangle a bit on a power line, but after an hour or two, they'll be just fine. Santa and his reindeer will save the day, scooping them up and onto his sleigh. So you can see the balloons in the different situations that they face. One thing I love about these balloons is you can see they actually have letters on them that say, "We love you, and you're always in our heart." And I'll explain that a little bit later. They'll get excited when they see a giant plane bound for an adventure all the way to Spain. They'll pose for selfies with daredevils who are skydiving and spot storks delivering babies soon to be arriving. The tooth fairy will whisk past them in the middle of the night. They'll smile for her and show off their pearly whites. They'll fill lots of booms and a strong vibration and watch the sky's color change with the 4th of July celebration. They'll dodge for raindrops one long wet afternoon and squeal with delight when they see a cow jump over the moon. They'll spot the colorful glow of Saturn's wings and kept him shut-eye nestled in an eagle's wings. They'll watch the sun rise and set with ease and whirl past kites, butterflies, and bumblebees. They'll get away from astronauts on board a spaceship, which will turn out to be the best part of their trip. So check out those astronauts waving to those balloons. I bet that would be really cool if you were an astronaut and you looked out and it was normally pretty dark and you saw these colorful balloons. They'll hitch a ride on a superhero's cape and watch a beautiful constellation start to take shape. They'll finally get to see a shooting star, a sign that heaven really isn't that far. When the balloons get to Tiger, it'll be sunny and bright. After the long journey, what a welcome sight. Music plays and animals sing and dance. They bark, moo, snort, and prance. See all the different pets that are up there? They look like they're having a great time with their friends. Suddenly they spot Tiger sitting on a cloud. When they see her, she starts meowing out loud. She's delighted by the gift that they sent above, and she makes a plan to return it with a token of her love. See Tiger? The little girls look up to the sky, and it's a rainbow they spot from the corner of their eye. A sign that Tiger is safe and sound, even though she isn't around. See that shape of the rainbow too? It's something special. It's a cat. She'll live on in the memories in our hearts and head, and we'll kiss her picture goodnight when we go to bed. Tiger isn't sick anymore. She's perfectly okay, and we'll continue to remember her each and every day. The end. And I want to show you guys a picture of my own daughters, Haley and Ellie, and that is the time that they were letting the balloons go in remembrance of Tiger on Pet Remembrance Day. This was 4 years ago.
Thank you so much, Lori. Thank you for that lovely, lovely reading.
Oh, thank you for having me.
Of course. So before we jump into talking a little bit about the book, I'd love to hear just a little bit more about you. Can you tell us about yourself?
Absolutely. So as I mentioned, I'm from Chicago. I am an award-winning author. So Balloons for Tiger is the third picture book that I've written. My career as an author started about 6 years ago when my daughter Haley was in preschool. She went in her classroom one day and they did a height chart, and her name was all the way at the bottom of the height chart and her friends' names were all the way at the top, and she started getting bullied because of her height. And so I wrote a book for her called Being Small Isn't So Bad After All, and that book was so much fun. It helped teach lessons in a fun way, and I wrote another book after that called The Tooth Fairy's Tummy Ache, and it gave me the confidence to write even more. And so Balloons for Tiger is my third book, and I have two daughters, Haley and Ellie, and I have another daughter on the way. So I am so excited to continue to be inspired by my girls and situations that we face to use those lessons to help others.
Yeah. Oh, fantastic. And as someone who is very tall, I wish I was very small. So I get it.
The grass is always greener on the other side.
Yes. So can we talk a little bit about Balloons for Tiger? What inspired you to write this book?
Absolutely. So our cat, Tiger, I'm going to show you guys some pictures of her. She lived to be 18, so she lived a very long and happy life. But a couple of years ago, Tiger just wasn't herself, and so we took her to the vet. We thought maybe she'd had problems with her thyroid, so we thought maybe we weren't administering her medicine correctly, and it turns out she was in liver failure. And so at the time, the vet said we can send her home, or we can put her down. We don't know if she's going to live an hour or a month or a day, and so we thought that for our family, it was best to let her go peacefully. But it was really hard for my kids. They were 4 and 2 at the time, and it was really hard to explain what was happening. And so we let them each release a balloon with a note tied to it that talked about, like Haley wrote, "Tiger, we love you, you're in our heart," and Ellie just drew a picture. And we released them as a tangible way to let go of their grief. But what happened with that is that it led to more questions than answers, because the next day they would say, well, what happened if the balloon got tangled on a power line? And their grandpa would be flying on a plane and they'd say, did he see the balloons? And so I thought about it. I couldn't find a book to properly explain pet loss to them. And so I thought, this is a nice, gentle way to broach the topic without getting too deep. I did want to talk about the Rainbow Bridge, but I didn't want to talk about God at the moment or anything spiritual. So I thought this was a nice way to help them cope with their grief.
Yeah. Oh, that's so lovely. And I love the idea of writing notes on balloons. That's something that Treehouse does. We do something similar every year. Those of you watching know that we do our annual Lights of Love celebration, where folks can write in with memories of pets that they have loved or pets that they've lost. And once a year, we shine a light in their honor here at Treehouse. We're going to be doing that again this year, but I love just the spirit of that, of getting to write messages and sort of let that go. Can you talk about what the number one lesson that you might want parents or children to take away from reading your book or from the process of writing your book?
Absolutely. I would love for parents and especially children to know that even though your pet isn't physically here with you anymore, you always carry a piece of them in your heart. And the love for them never goes away. And the love for them that they felt, they're going to still feel it. And they're always in your heart. You always take that with you. And just the memories are so beautiful. And to talk about those memories, it's okay to talk about them. It's okay to look at pictures. You don't have to completely close off that your animal is no longer there. They're a part of you. They're a part of your journey. And keep those memories alive with you.
Yeah. Oh, thank you for sharing that. I love that. That's certainly something that I'm going to take with me, sort of into the future of my pets. For folks who don't know, here at Treehouse, we do have our veterinary wellness center, and we do offer end-of-life care. So if there are pets that like Tiger, might be struggling with illness, and maybe sort of at the end of their time with you, you can come talk to us, and we'll help make sure that that process is as healthy and as kind and warm as humanly possible. So Lori, thank you so much for coming and sharing your lovely message with us and your book. Do you have anything else that you'd like to share with everybody?
Thank you so much for having me. And please feel free to connect with me. I have a website. It's LoriOrlinskyAuthor.com. You can connect with me on Facebook and Instagram, and feel free to connect with the Treehouse Humane Society. And I hope to be doing more work with them in the future. And I hope to see you all at events when it's safe. And thank you again, Chris, for having me.
Of course. Well, thank you so much for being here, and we'll absolutely be seeing more from you very soon. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for joining for a quick little lunchtime Facebook Live here on Pet Remembrance Day. We're so honored to have Lori Orlinksy join us and do a reading of her book, Balloons for Tiger. You can learn more about Lori at the link in the comments at LoriOrlinskyAuthor.com. And if you would like to talk to someone at Treehouse about end-of-life care for your pet, you can head to treehousevet.org and make your plans with us. Thank you so much, everyone. Have a wonderful week.